seems like a profitable market for developers. It seems like a profitable market for property buyers. That's why I'm here. Please stop using checks. They're useless. Hello and welcome to your weekly news dump. My name is Artem, CEO of Akord Properties, talking about finance, real estate, and life in Dubai. Please like, subscribe, and let's get into the news. So, week was busy as usual. This time actually productive, which is unusual. Really, there's two things I would love to tell about this week. The number one thing, and the thing I'm the most excited about, is we got new executive on board in our team who will be a great addition to the team and great addition to our knowledge base, really. Wealth of experience. Over a decade of experience on Dubai's real estate market, and they will be bringing a lot of intel to our media products as well. We will possibly launch a little podcast where we just talk about things in real estate specifically this week, where we do it live, where we can answer recent questions, where we can elaborate on things, interact with audience. So look out for that. They're going to lead our sales team, developing much better set of salespeople, developing the skills of our sales team, developing our awareness of the offerings of the market, constantly updating the most valuable offerings and helping to guide our clients through the deals even better, right? It's always exciting when a new person joins the team. For me, I especially at the higher level, I only hire the people who are head and shoulders above me in certain areas, and what really excites me is the opportunity I get from that, the opportunity to not only improve the business and improve the processes, which I love, of course, but also to learn and to provide a better product. The other one is this week, in my free time, I was researching because our Turnkey Plus product is right now in a little bit of a limbo simply because I cannot find right people. So once again, if you're good at homesteading, if you're good at setting up homes and setting up the right types of fillings for homes, right? We got perfect position for you. We've got somewhere for you to work, right? Once again, because simply put, creating all those sets for all the circumstances for the full configurator, and also making it updated well enough and maintained well enough where we can offer solid price right off the bat, right? On the first point of contact, we can quote you at least the range of the price plus or minus 10% and commit to that. And where we can operate at certain level of return, which we at least going to cover our expenses. That I cannot do in myself. It's simply taking up too much time. It's too much manual work for me to handle. I simply do not have enough hours in a day, especially if I would like to consider sleeping for 6 or 4 hours once in a while. But there's another business which would be much easier for me to manage and much easier for me to assemble a team for, which more importantly is much more in demand right now in Dubai, I believe. Well, it's hard to say it's in demand because there's simply no product like that on the market right now, but I believe there is a strong demand for that. And the simple pitch is, you know how extremely wealthy families would have a family office based in one of the financial centers, be it New York. Nowadays, a lot of them are in Dubai, right? And those family offices, they manage the investments of the family, they manage the lifestyle of the family. Essentially, the family's lifestyle and finance is so complex, it requires a back office. Generally, wealthy families, their life is also complex enough where it can justify a few hours of an office, of a back office a week. So they cannot justify really spending money to set up a family office, but they can justify having a share in a multi-family office, and that's the product, right? Once again, I got everything ready to set up this one. This one process-wise, is not extremely complicated. It just takes a lot of specialists in a few fields, which I have acquired anyway through functioning in Dubai and through helping out our clients in Dubai, helping out relatives and friends in Dubai. And this is a trusted team of great specialists, which we can assemble working on a moment's notice, really. What I don't have is the critical mass of clients for that specific product. And that's what I'm looking for. So if for some reason you're watching YouTube videos, but you believe that's a cool idea, it's something you want to be a part of, do reach out to us, do reach out to Akord and mention that project. Mention you wanted to talk with me. What I offer in return is lifetime subscription at the discounted price. I'm taking initial customers on just for this business to be at maintenance level, right? I don't look to make a profit off those initial customers. And I calculated the critical mass is 6 customers, and each of the customers also will be getting 5% stake in the enterprise, which is just in general to show the gratitude, obviously, and to motivate those early adopters to commit to the product long term. So if you know somebody who's interested, ask them to reach out to me. If you are interested, reach out to me. We can discuss your needs. That will help us also refine the product and refine it suited perfectly to the needs of those first 6 customers, right? We will run it in a beta product for 6 months with just 6 customers, with me hands-on, my own time, without any salary in a business, managing that, right? After that, we will decide the whole corporate structure, possibly look to hire another CEO, possibly have me being a CEO of both companies, which is going to be tough, but I assume this business doesn't require a lot of CEO input, just for emergency cases, really. And we will start expanding and building more of it. So that's the spiel. Anyway, I think I've been droning long enough. Oh, yeah, I've been droning long enough, looking at the timeline. Anyway, let's get into the news. So the first one is incredible, really. It's a little dark, so we're starting a little dark and offbeat, but oh well. In India, a husband decided to refuse to take his wife to Dubai for a vacation, and things got out of control, and lady beaten the guy to death. Look, I love Dubai myself. I fully understand, really wanted to be here, right? But that's a little bit of overreaction, and my condolences. But yeah, if your missus is looking to go to Dubai, do consider this news piece, please. Another thing I've seen all over the news about the life in Dubai was this new metro line. The new metro line actually going to finally go from Al Jadaf through Dubai Creek, through the east of Dubai. And this line is desperately needed for the city because a large proportion of city is not accessible by metro system. And this is one of very few downsides of living in Dubai, is a yet to be developed public transport system. It's better than it is in the US, for sure. It's incredible where it's done and it's well maintained. But it's not sufficient in volume just yet. And it's great to see that by 2030, RTA will launch the whole new line. And this is actually quite an impressive speed they want to go at. So let's see, the blue line actually going to have 2 bits to it. It will pass through the festival city, Creek Harbor, Ras Al Khor, and arriving at Dubai's international city. The other line will connect Silicon Oasis all the way to Academic City. This is good choice of directions, reasonable choice of directions. I am upset that Dubai Hills is not getting their station. as it seems. That's very unfortunate, and obviously JVC is in desperate need of metro transportation. It's a fairly densely populated area by now, with a lot of people who are lower middle class, who would love to rely on public transport, who at this point have to use the car. I've been complaining about traffic. I'm very excited about public transport becoming more widely available in Dubai. On to the next news. So this week, once again, some numbers. $2.6 billion of transactions, 268 million single transaction in Palm Jebel Ali. So that's a land purchase by the developer, forming really high number for this week. Those land purchases, they kind of shape this graph a lot and add a lot of randomness to these numbers. So weekly transactions are not necessarily the best metric, but they give us good indication, right? So it's 1,800 transactions this week. Once again, quite a lot. Because of that, land plots are nearly, about a third of the whole transaction value is land plots, which is quite a lot. Top three transactions been all for land by developers, of course. So $38 million in Business Bay. There was land sold for $24 million at Wadi Al Safa, and $15 million plot in Warsan Fourth. So this gives you a good indication of not yet expensive land. You get some really expensive land or some really large exuberant purchases of land for some developments. But honestly, right now in Dubai, a lot of developers are entering the market, a lot of new developers, simply because the land is relatively affordable. Imagine buying land in London to build something. You'll beat any of those numbers easily, and you might not ever make your money back, where here, it just adds up well. It seems like a profitable market for developers. It seems like a profitable market for property buyers. That's why I'm here. On to the next news. So this article from Arabian Business was very exciting for me to read the headline, and then absolutely incredibly disappointing once I read it. It's that it states that investing in Dubai property by schools can boost returns by 44%, and it's a great claim, but it's not very well substantiated. It seems like they just kind of picked and chose areas around nice schools and said, oh, their returns were higher, but then you pick some other high-level schools and nothing mentions about that. So it could, if you chose the right schools out of the schools. Once again, this kind of intel, be very careful about. Yeah, great, Shoba Heartland, people say a lot of people made a lot of returns on that. Did they though? Did they? Yeah, a few apartments resold, but the building is not delivered. It's been sold off plan, and it's been resold off plan, and some people rebought it off plan for a bit more, right? Quite a bit more. But those are outstanding cases where something just went wrong with the market. It's a market failure, not market trend. Because the market trend is, before it's getting delivered, you're not reselling it. Most of those apartments are on the market right now, trying to get sold, because whoever promised, bunch of people who bought, well, I know who, but I'm not calling names.
Just tell me. Just say it and it'll all be fine.
I'm not saying it.
Promised a bunch of people who buy in Shoba Heartland that they can resell it on off-plan easily, lied to them, simply lied. It was a simple lie. Off-plan resale is not a thing which happens a lot. It's a tough thing. It rarely happens, and even rarer for it to happen at any level of reasonable profit until your building is delivered, or a few months or weeks before being delivered. you're not selling it. You might, but you might as well consider it as impossibility, okay? That's where people lose the vast amount of money in Dubai, is on that thing. I hate how many companies feel comfortable doing calculation based on that to their clients and promising their clients that they will not need to pay the full amount and they can kind of cheat around the payment plan, right? And resell it with the payment plan later on. That really puts a lot of people who are relying on not paying full amount into a terrible position where they need to sell it or they lose it because they cannot do the final payment, which usually would be a half of full amount. And guess what? You know why it's the full amount comes at the delivery? Because developer knows if you lose it at the moment of delivery and you have to forfeit it back to them, they will sell it off immediately. It's fine for them, right? They will sell it at full price and make a profit. That's exactly why the last installment or the largest installment is at the point of delivery, where they're comfortable to put it up, because at this point they're not afraid to lose you as a customer, where on the earlier stages they need this funding from the payment plan to continue building, right? For their finance to work. A lot of brokers, they come in and say, oh, you can resell it easy. No, you can't. Once again, you hear any broker tell you that, run for the hills. Don't trust this guy. He's not technically scamming you. He's just making promises which will never come true. So you make of it what you will. On to the next news. So, yeah. Checkbooks. Once again. I hate checkbooks. They're hard to procure. They're restricting market for many people in Dubai because it's annoying to get a checkbook. Not many people in Dubai struggle to find open a bank account once in a while because of number of reasons. First of all, you got to be a resident, and some of people who want to rent an apartment on a regular will just visit occasionally, right? And some people who do property transactions, they visit occasionally. So all those checks the customers should write, agencies write for customers, and that drains the checkbooks. And acquiring new checkbooks for any business is always a crapshoot, right? A crapshoot. It's simply, they can simply refuse you on no grounds, really. And also checks are antiquated, unreliable, not the safest thing in the world. Checks been there before the card's been there, and the online banking. Why they are still part of Dubai's banking system, I'm not sure. I don't like it. They now have direct debit system. They have online transactions. And they have all of the accommodations on the market to not use checks. But people still prefer using checks, and it's simply to the point of, oh, I've been using it all the time, I'll use it more. I think checks should become a matter of the past in Dubai's economy, like it is in most of banking economies in the world, in most of modern banking economies in the world. Like, the only place which still uses checks is the United States, I think, and it's absurd, really. It's a dinosaur of the banking tool. Shouldn't be there. People, please stop using checks. They're useless. They're the worst and the least safe way for you to deal with money. There's so many better tools, it's incredible. So, yeah. But apparently, the report shows real estate agencies, developers, the whole industry still heavily using checks. And we are forced to do so as well. That's what I see from my perspective as well, is everybody's using checks. Please stop. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. That's very important to me. I think this week was a bit of a shorter one, so it should be a little easier. Anyway, please subscribe, like our videos, press the bell icon. See you next week. Goodbye.